Okay, hello everybody and welcome back to your coverage of the Redbull ECL. We're still waiting on one spectator to load in, but I'm hoping that he does and we can just get ourselves underway with this game. This is game 2 of our 2-game set for the group stage portion of this competition between IG and DK. IG actually have 6 games to play today, 3 back-to-back 2-game series. So still plenty more Dota action from them coming up. DK looking very convincing so far. They are currently 5-0. In the group stage, so looking like they're pretty much, I think they're shoo-ins at this point for the top spot. But we're still going to see if IG can take a game here and maybe secure that number 2 spot. So I'm Baseskip here providing coverage on behalf of Beyond the Suburb. It's great to be joining all of you guys this evening. And as we get into the draft, it's my pleasure to welcome back Winter to the broadcast.
What's up? What's up?
Not much.
Will we see? Will we see Visage getting ignored again?
Yeah, will we see Visage getting ignored? Will we see an Enchantress ban from IG? I'm sure they have higher priority targets, and
they can't ban like Timbersaw and OD this time because DK is first pick. You have to ban Alchemist for that matter.
Yeah, nobody wants to play against the Alch. That just seems to be the general consensus right now. You can't let the enemy team have it. Unstable Concoction as an ability is just too crazy.
I would, to a certain extent, compare Alchemist to Earth Spirit.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, Winter, that might be a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
It's not as strong.
Not as frustrating either. I don't think I've ever been quite so mad at playing against an Alchemist. Though I have been roamed on mid a whole bunch by an Alchemist as Invoker, and that's really, really sad because there's very little that you can do. But anyway, so IG already dipping into their bonus time. What do you think they get rid of here?
They're thinking long and hard. Maybe they'll just ignore the Timbersaw and the OD. Oh, they're just gonna ban out the OD. Maybe DK's gonna snatch up the Timbersaw right away.
I like leaving the Timbersaw in the pool because if DK go for the Enchantress again, then you can take the Timbersaw and feel pretty confident about not losing your tier 1 tower pretty much immediately on the offlane. So
DK picks the Timbersaw first, then what happens?
Then what happens? Yeah, exactly. Then IG have to start planning around how to play against the Timber. Start getting your BKB cores up, get some good lockdown, maybe get a little bit of burst magical damage. We'll see. The Timbersaw is another hero that takes a little bit of work to deal with, and also the Ice Timbersaw is just terrifying. He gets up in your face. He's a real pest to play against. But another hero that DK have been running quite a bit recently, the Nature's Prophet. We talked about this a little bit recently, insofar as Burning plays it and Ice plays it. Yeah, so they have 2 different strategies regarding the Prophet.
And the other reason is IG has been picking Prophet all the time in the first phase too. So you deny IG's Prophet and you get a Prophet of your own where the enemy looks at you. Okay, you get a Prophet, but you have no idea are you gonna do this style of Prophet or the burning style of Prophet. So it's still a very mobile pick in that sense for DK.
In fairness, Burning's Prophet is far from his best hero. His Prophet is pretty average.
That's what you get if you pick
so,
Invoker and Prophet.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
Yeah, but you have to make some adjustment if you're gonna have Ice on Invoker. So we'll see. And IG again, a little bit more bonus time gonna go away. And typically we see all of this bonus time being used up after the second round of ban, sort of the ban into the pick if you're the second pick team or things like that. So we'll see what they do here. Okay, IG are gonna take the Enchanters for themselves.
Turn to pick.
The more I look at Enchanters, the more I feel this hero is actually very, very powerful. Getting more and more powerful. The gameplay of the hero suits the meta so well, and having a jungling support is always so crucial for a team right now. It maximizes your farm.
Isn't this just DK's draft from last game?
Yeah, it is. They open up with Enchantress and Dragonite.
I really don't mind it because it gives you all kinds of options. There's not really anybody that crushes the DK mid anymore either. Like, yeah. Quap does well, but the DK doesn't die 3 times and do nothing. The DK just gets a little bit less farm than normal. I don't know. I don't call it a clean win.
I feel this is psychological warfare.
5 seconds
You beat us with
remaining.
Enchantress and DK opening, we have no idea what to do. So now it's your turn to teach us what to do.
Okay, so DK decided the Timber Saw is still
Oh,
well worth
this-
having.
This means it's a burning prophet.
Oh, yeah.
There's no one else playing the Timber Saw.
Mushi
Or
doesn't
maybe
play
it's-
Timber?
No, not a chance. And maybe it's also possibly
IG's
another option
turn
would
to
be
ban.
like Mushi playing the prophet. I know he likes to do prophet solo mid
DK's turn
and get a
to
bottle.
ban.
You control the runes for sure with the teleport.
Fair enough. So maybe I'll have to take back a little bit of my earlier praise of DK, saying that everybody can play everything and you never know what they're going to draft if Mushi can't handle the Timber.
You really
10
do
seconds
never know
remaining.
what they're gonna lane and how they're gonna draft. But
Yeah.
maybe it could also well be
5
something
seconds
along the
remaining.
lines where they just Timber Saw, they just do Timber Saw versus Dragonite middle,
Mhm.
since it's a super favorable matchup, and they have Ice of Ice play the Timber
IG's
Saw.
turn to
Burning
ban.
will be on the offlane prophet like the other day, and Mushi will just take care of the safe lane. Probably it will go down to that matter as well. Invoker being banned, they know something is up, but Timber Saw is generally Ice of Ice hero, and no one else on that team plays the Timber Saw.
Do
10
they ban the
seconds
Wisp as
remaining.
well?
No, I think not.
5
Uh,
seconds
Maybe they're out of
out
out
of
of the
fear, out of fear, maybe you do.
reserve time.
DK just choose to get rid of Luna Inspector, so expecting IG to go for multiple cores, and not anticipating that they're going to be going for a super fast push. Oh,
Wow.
IG!
this.
DK's
This is like
turn to
putting
pick.
your
Look-
medicine,
Yeah.
making you eat your own medicine.
Oh man, but this is like the gauntlet being thrown down. This is like, look, you beat us with this before. We see what you're up to. We're gonna show that we're just as good, and we can do it as well. I really like this from IG. We'll see if it works though.
Yeah, it's very obvious that we're going to get the Wisp because you take out Spectre and Luna. These two heroes deals with the Wisp relocate very well. You relocate into Eclipse, that's
10
not a good idea,
seconds
and
remaining.
Spectre can just kill the Wisp so easily. And generally,
5
Spectre is a very good
seconds
way
remaining.
to be able to have that global presence as well against the Wisps. And I was like, why did they
Reserve
ban
time.
Disruptor? Disruptor is good versus Wisp. Oh yeah, they're gonna pick the Wisp themselves.
Okay, so the plan from IG so far has just been take all of DK's heroes and see how they adapt. So the Wisp is not even a bad pick in this lineup. You've
Uh-huh.
got the Enchantress, the Wisp can run lots of pulls, he can get his fast 6, he can get his levels. He's amazing against the Prophet, keep the pressure down on him, really prevent him from split pushing. We're still yet to see what else DK are going to be picking up, but I think it's already a pretty solid lineup from IG.
I'm trying to think, like the Tiny is so good against the Timber Saw and the Prophet, and it's like DK, what do we
Do you
do
go
now?
Lifestealer here if you're DK? He's a hero that you can't really relocate gank on because he's got rage and he can just infest into an enemy
Yeah.
creep. And he also does pretty well against Tiny in a man
IG's
fight,
turn to
so I
pick.
think could be a good option for DK. But they're gonna take an Earthshaker.
Very good to deal with relocate gangs. Just sit behind the whatever person you're guarding, and the fissure will mostly save the hero and raise a relocate gang. So, Enchantress also quite weak against Earthshaker. Earthshaker can burst the Enchantress down if he's near enough to the Enchantress. That's provided. Yeah, he needs to get near enough.
Yeah.
10
And
seconds
IG,
remaining.
well, we'll see. Do they?
Hmm.
They're considering.
5
They could take the
seconds.
Lifestealer
There's
themselves.
also one thing. There's
Mhm.
also one thing as well, Baseskip. Like these three heroes here, the three
Reserve
opening heroes,
time.
Enchantress, Dragonite, and the Wisp is also very weak against the Timber Saw in general.
Yeah, all of them have a pretty hard time. Enchantress doesn't deal with burst damage very well, Wisp is strength, and he doesn't deal with burst damage very well, so double whammy for him, and DK strength melee heroes don't really have a great time.
DK's turn to pick.
Fissure into Timber Saw combination, that is just death to the Enchantress and the Wisp.
And IG, the response from them is going to be to pick up the Nyx Assassin, so they want, I guess they want to secure their offlaner, and they want to put a little bit more pressure on the Prophet, if at all possible.
Mm-hmm.
And-
And it's a little weird because we've been seeing the Wisp and the Tiny, and DK has one more ban. So if you
10
don't pick the
seconds
Tiny now, it
remaining.
means the Tiny.
IG's
Wow,
turn
double
to ban.
melee. No, this is not double melee support. This is Sand King solo mid.
Yeah,
against
this
Dragonite.
is Sand King mid against DK. It's, I was talking about earlier, there aren't that many heroes that crush Dragon Knight in lane. Sand King is the exception. He gives DK a
10
really hard
seconds
time. And if you don't play the
remaining.
matchup right, you're just going to die. There'll be 3 Caustic Finale creeps, he
5
burrow strikes
seconds
through,
remaining.
they pop on you, you're just dead. So
It's not only that. It's not only the laning phase. This is very well thought of. The second reason
DK's
is
turn to
you see the
ban.
minimap, the red dot coming out, relocate, and it's time for your epicenter to get casted. Easy kills.
yeah, and okay, so the Tiny's still there. The
10
Lifestealer is
seconds
still
remaining.
there as well, though DK do already have a triple melee lineup at this point. I
5
think we've already got
seconds
all of their
remaining.
cores as well.
Yeah.
So
Pretty sure it's not going to be a Nature's Prophet jungling. That's
Reserve
very
time.
greedy and it's very dangerous. It's not very strong.
especially
Prophet
against an
exposition.
Enchantress. The Enchantress
Uh-huh.
starts walking into your jungle, steals a creep, harasses you a little bit. It can be very hard to deal with.
The last pick, I'm thinking Maiden would be a fantastic add-on to DK's lineup. The mana regen is just so good on all the heroes. Everyone could benefit with that additional mana early game. Timbersaw, Earthshaker would be extremely happy about that, and they all in all need a position 5 warder, and Crystal Maiden just fulfills every single department of that.
Yeah, you don't want to have Earthshaker as your
IG's
position
turn to
5. You
pick.
want him to have his arcanes, you want him to have his blink dagger. And interestingly enough, DK are going to choose to ban at the Gyrocopter. The Gyro Wisp is a strategy that they've run to great success on the Dire side. I don't know if you caught the game, but MMY pretty much just spent the entire early game stacking 2 camps at the same time over on the eastern side of the Dire jungle, and then Burning swooped in with Gyrocopter, cleaned them both
10
out.
seconds
And it
remaining.
also, the Wisp just let the Gyrocopter farm the entire game long
5
and
seconds
participate in fights when
remaining.
he had to. So it looks like that's... If IG have taken all of these plays out of the DK
Reserve
playbook,
time.
with the Enchantress DK, the Wisp, maybe DK think, okay, look, they've probably caught on to our Wisp Gyrocopter as well.
Yeah, but IG are actually
10
making a
seconds
few
remaining.
tweaks of their own towards this draft because like
Mhm.
DK doesn't do Nyx offlane
5
and Gyro
seconds
in this sort of
remaining.
scenario. They always go for the what? What?
Hmm.
DK's
This
turn
is-
to pick.
Oh, this is
Safe
Wisp and
lane Dragon.
Dragonite.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wisp and Dragonite. Safe lane, Storm Spirit, Solo mid. They are this is actually superbly smart. Now the Sand King versus Storm feels like stuck with a bad matchup now suddenly.
Yeah, and I guess DK, the only adjustment that they can make is to bump the Sand King down to support, but that's awful.
melee?
Yeah, double melee supports, you are in
Oh.
for an awful time.
That was a fantastic change up by IG. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
have to say that was brilliant.
Well, I mean, hardly anybody, I think we've seen maybe one in like the last month,
Reserve
nobody
time.
really runs the Dragon Knight safe lane. You see the Dragon Knight, and what immediately pops into your head is, okay, Dragon Knight mid, that's sorted, but it looks like DK might have baited themselves into a little bit of a bad situation.
Bump. They bump him down and Prophet
Okay.
is gonna go solo mid Mushi.
Okay, wow.
This is
What a draft.
mind game.
Yeah.
Mind game over mind game. It's like, okay, we can't do this right now, but we're gonna just take a sacrifice double mid. So it's very weird. I've never seen MMY. MMY is probably gonna play, but in between Sand King or Earthshaker, I would rather have the Sand King get more farm. You were talking about Earthshaker, you need the arcane boots and stuff, but if you put Earthshaker and Sand King on the same page as supports, I would rather give the Sand King more farm than the Earthshaker.
Yeah, I mean, the Earthshaker, he's still great with Fisher. If you get other good initiation down, save from the Sand King, he might be able to waddle his way into the fight and drop an Echo Slam.
10
Comparatively, the
seconds
Sand King can't get anything really out of his ultimate unless he has the blink,
5
just
seconds
because
remaining.
otherwise it's going to be cancelled. So I think I agree with you. I think you need to have the Sand King with some farm. But Mushi is still playing it.
Greedy support Prophet.
Okay.
I was like, I didn't think they would do this because it's very
Prepare for
dangerous against
battle.
the Enchantress.
So we'll see how this goes for DK. I guess they get forced into a little bit of a greedy position here.
Sand King versus Storm is actually quite a risky matchup. I would say the Sand King still has a chance to win if he takes his opportunity right with the Caustic Finale and the Burrow Strike. But I still favor the Storm Spirit in that matchup. I think Storm Spirit will still be able to get more out of the lane, and it's gonna be the ward on the off lane as usual to help Ice get a better early game. I think this ward has been like the revelations of all the off lanes getting better and better nowadays. There's basically so low of a chance for the enemy team to deward the off lane ward from anyone who places it because of the
30
Sentry
seconds
vision.
to battle.
Yeah, there's is a very low chance. And IG might even have been spotted placing their observer ward since they came in a little bit later. So maybe not. Let's check the dire vision. And maybe it was just from the fog.
No, I don't think
fog.
there's. Yeah, I don't think they saw because he placed it behind the trees, and that ward doesn't really spot out anyone behind the trees. So let's roll into the game, basically.
Yeah, let's get underway. So this is game 2 of our 2-game set for the group stage portion. This is the Redbull ECL, and this is IG versus DK. DK took the first game, so I guess you can say that they are 1-0 in this set. And very quickly, running over IG, we've got Banana on the Enchantress, we've got How on the Dragonet heading towards the safe lane. Faith is going to be on the Wisp. We've got Ferrari 430 on the Storm Spirit heading towards mid, and for the off lane, we're going to have YYF on the Nyx Assassin.
On the Dire side, we have MMY playing the Earthshaker, Burning will be handling the Klings, Prophet jungling position 4 on Lamb, Mushi will be taking the Sand King solo mid, getting zoned out by the Storm already at level 1, and lastly we have Ice on the off lane as Timbersaw.
Yeah, a little bit of a loop around coming onto Ice. Dragon Tail goes out, eats some damage. They're still holding on to the slow. He's got the Timber Chain head sideways, but looks like, right clicks are going to be enough to kill him, and first blood drawn by Faith.
He saw the... No, he was just greedy. He saw the Enchantress coming from behind.
He was like, oh, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Because he didn't have creeps, and he was thinking, okay.
Okay.
Oh, that is really bad.
That's awful.
Mushi and Ice got killed.
This does not bode well. The one thing that we did say was that if you want to beat DK, I guess you have to win 2 out of 3 lanes and just have the advantage the whole game through. And so far, so good.
Yeah, it was a really, really good start for IG. They could not have hoped for anything better, getting the kills on the 2 Southeast Asian imports on the team.
And the one thing that's worth pointing out is just how well IG played this gank bottom lane. As well. They Dragon Tailed, they held off on using the Tether Slow until the Dragon Tail had completely worn off and got every single right click in that they could. So just gave no opportunity for Ice to be able to escape.
He just never expected that gank because the Enchantress was like, he was supposed to be getting a creep and coming in like 10 or 20 seconds later. He saw the Enchantress with a what? No creep. I'm not worried. But they played the situation, they used every bit of the disable well. And he fell. That was just really well played by IG.
So far, things looking pretty good for IG. YYF gets some levels on the offlane as well, and he is going to get his levels. It's a duo lane with a melee support. There's not really anything that MMY can do to zone him out. So, bottom lane's doing well, mid lane's doing well, and we're anticipating YYF doing pretty well as well.
Oh, Mushi. He might be... Nah, if he got Electric Vortex, I think he would have died. He was just out of range for that.
Yeah, it's actually doing okay in terms of CS right now. It gets his bottle delivered as well, but again, this is a fairly difficult matchup. There's going to be an attempted Dragon Tail here. Ice just able to Timber Chain out of the way. How considers the dive, runs in, eats a couple of tower shots, but that's going to be it.
This is actually going to be very problematic when the game goes on for another few minutes because like the Storm had a fantastic start. He's going to have a very quick level 6. Prophet, Earthshaker, all these heroes are really bad against Storm if Storm has a good start. So Storm will be able to have a very huge impact this game. And he's going to be... I think if he plays his cards right, he's going to have a very good time come the next few minutes once he gets his ultimate. And once he gets a few more items up like the Threads and the Magic Wand, he's going to be able to do a huge lot of damage towards DK.
Yeah, and as soon as he gets to level 6, he doesn't have to worry about Prophet ganks, anything like that. Speaking of Prophet ganks, YYF gonna eat a Fissure up on top lane. MMY tries for the body block, gets in front of him again. MMY, very nice body blocking so far. YYF tries to get around, but looks like the right clicks are gonna be enough. MMY, the body blocks just don't stop. However, the Carapace stun keeps him alive. Lanham finishes him off with one more right click.
He could have lived. He could have lived. South, he had a South plus Spike Carapace, he would have lived. He would have like tanked the last right click.
Mushi gets dragged mid lane. Burst strikes through onto Ferrari. Both can eat some damage. Ferrari wants a bit more harassment, it seems like. Mushi turns around. He's willing to fight this. The Fissure comes in. Is there another burst strike? Not for a little while. Ferrari has his boots. Mushi needs to try and catch him here. Ferrari's going to head upriver. They get the long range burst strike. And Mushi is going to be able to pick up that one up.
One creep. He was one creep away from level 6. That was very unfortunate.
Oh man, 60 experience. That's just sad.
Yeah, I was saying like, while I played the whole situation right, even though he got blocked so badly, but he could have lived there. That would have been a lot of space created.
Yeah, definitely. They had 3 heroes chasing him for a very long time. They dragged the creep wave all over the place as well. So this game has been very close so far. We've had a couple of... almost every kill so far has been only barely. I didn't catch the kill mid, Mushi versus...
They're gonna kill Ferrari, Power Strike, Epicenter, and Fissure. They're gonna kill him.
Yeah, they need to coordinate this just right. Mushi plays up a little bit. There's the Burst Strike. Epicenter going to start off. In comes the Fissure. And Banana's walked into this one as well. Is it going to be 2 kills? No, Ferrari manages to roll away. Zips back in. They got the dust down onto Mushi. The Satyr, unfortunately, is going to end up dying. Roll in from Ferrari. Is there anything else here to keep him locked down? Ferrari going to try and head down river. He's got 2 bottle sips. Gets fissured. Can he make it up onto the high ground with this last sip? Just drops a remnant. He's actually going to be okay.
Yeah, didn't see that he had bottle sips, then he's alright. And Prophet is only level 4 because he rotated around quite a bit. He needs to do a lot of stuff for his team this game, so not gonna just sit in the jungle and farm up his levels. That was just a very good time position for the Enchantress to die for the storm there.
Yeah, and how do you feel about the long term, the long game here, Winter? If this drags on a little bit.
It's difficult to say though, because like IG has not a very hard-hitting carry on the safe lane. If it was a tiny, I would say IG would have been the better in the long run. But DK, I'm not so sure. I think it's fairly even.
Yeah, ice. Zip's gonna come in from Ferrari. Needs another one. Does still have enough mana, however, for the Vortex. They drag him back into a Dragon Tail. Breathe Fire and brings him down. First movement of the game from Ferrari off to another lane, and is gonna pick up a kill.
Ferrari has 19 last hits only. I am very surprised.
Well, mid lane's just been a battlefield. Back and forth. He's picked up a kill. He's died. He almost died again. I don't think it's too surprising. He even spent a little bit of time while he was waiting for his level 6. He ducked into the jungle and stacked a camp, which the Enchantress ended up taking a little bit later. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good point as well. That's why he doesn't seem to have like as many last hits as. Considering the start he had, he killed Mushi first.
Yeah, I think it was a really smart move. He was around level 4. He decided that, look, there's a very real threat that I get Prophet ganked here. I don't have a Tango. I won't be able to escape the Sprout, and I could very well die. So he ducked off into the jungle, stacked the camp. He didn't end up being able to go back and grab that farm, but yeah, that's probably why he's a little bit further behind than you might expect. Burning, just still the same build as always. It's going to be going for a Soul Ring. I guess we're going to see if he's still going to head in towards a Midas. We're expecting the Prophet to pick up a Midas. Yeah, Lanham actually has almost 1900 gold up.
I would think that it's a very huge mistake not to get a Midas because it boosts up your income so quickly and it doesn't really affect your timing of the Orchid that badly. If you go for an Orchid Rush, you mostly get it, if you do it like a naked Orchid without even a threat, so you'll probably get it like 11-12 minutes and you still need a few levels more to be able to get a solo kill. But if you get the Midas first, it synergizes everything together. You get your levels, the level intended for the solo kill, and you get your Orchid around 40 minutes, 13-40 minutes. And it's like a 2 to 3 minute difference only. So why not? Why not Midas?
Yeah, I think it's really nice for a hero like Clinks as well, just because, like you said, it guarantees him his levels. And he's not a hero that sits in lane farming very much. Once he has his Orchid, he's going to be moving around the map, and even if he misses out on a couple of kills here and there, the Midas is still going to keep him on par with everybody else in terms of level. So I think I agree with you. I think it's really the right pickup. Yeah, and Burning, same idea. He's gonna end up picking it up.
Death Pack and Midas, you kill the camp so quickly as well. So it's very. I would say this is just the best build at the moment. Soul Ring plus Midas for Kings. There's nothing gets better than this until someone just brings up with a new build. And bottom lane, Timursault looks like he's gonna die again. The Nyx is here.
Yeah, Nyx moves in, stun's gonna connect. They've stacked their stuns a little bit, but I don't think it's gonna give time for Ice to escape. 4 hero gank brings him down. They managed to get the tier 1 tower as well. Last hit gonna be picked up there by Banana, so a little bit of extra farm going his way. DK, the response from them is gonna be to try and bring down the tier 1 top lane. Lanham gonna TP in to try and slow this push as it makes its way onto the tier 2. And they even TP in MMY to try and delay, as Burning's gonna get the last hit on the tier 1 top.
Are you surprised? Look at the items on the Prophet. Pretty sure you'll be surprised.
Oh. Okay, I guess this is what happens when you have... Well, I wouldn't even call Lanham necessarily a support player. He's played multiple roles over his career, but looks like they just want a slightly more active
Prophet.
Prophet.
Yeah, like I mentioned, a position 4 Prophet is very dangerous. You must be able to contribute to your team. If you go for the standard Midas and just farming away, the contribution of the Prophet is very minimal, and he's just going to make his team have a tough time. Not to mention, Earthshaker as their lone support is not ideal at all.
Yeah, I don't think that the Urn is a huge deviation, and I guess it's gonna. We'll still have to see what kind of build he goes for. It could still be phase boots into a mech. He could still go for the Midas, so he could still tip either way.
It tells me a lot though, basically, because like you get the Urn means you want to be extremely active. You want to be looking forward to teleporting to every single small skirmish that happens to get the Urn charge and to help your team fight.
Oh, Ferrari's gonna come in for this double damage, but Bring's gonna pick it up. Ferrari zips away. MMY not going to be able to use the Fissure. And, well, DK actually coming in for a little bit of a push here on the mid lane. Mushi, how much gold does he have? He's got his Arcanes, he's got his bottle, and he's got 1400 in the bank. So making some pretty good progress to his point.
He's very, I would say very farm still, considering the start he had. He was still very farm. Dagger in like another 3 minutes or so. 4 minutes tops.
And for Ferrari, what kind of build are you expecting to see this game? Still just the Orchid? He does have another robe with the Mega I picked up, so...
Orchid is the best controlling, the best build to go and control the game, have a lot of pressure. Like we were talking about, having the like DK, the way DK plays, having one hero missing on the map constantly, and you're just so
jump on bottom lane, Ice gets stunned up, Nyx Assassin makes his way in, Ice still alive, but the Carapace stun brings him out of the Timber Chain. Nicely played by YYF.
Yeah, I was talking about if you don't have the Orchid, you don't have the presence when you're not in the map, everyone is afraid if you go for a BKB first. So definitely the Orchid is the best choice to be able to exert that amount of pressure towards your opponent. So I don't think it's really anything too surprising that he goes for that. It's a very powerful item build now.
Yeah, and both teams have a really ganking oriented lineup with Wisp, Nyx Assassin, Storm Spirit, and then on the other side they've got this ganking Prophet, a Sand King, and a Clinks. Which team, if either of them, do you think considers 5-manning a little bit, trying to push down some towers first, or are we just going to see a really pick-off oriented game?
I don't think anyone wants to 5-man that much, because both of the 5-man... Oh, relocate.
Yeah, relocate coming into Mushi. He's managed to burrow strike his way up onto the high ground. He's only got 2 points up in the Sandstorm, doesn't have it for a little bit. They get the Dragon Tail out. Fissure buys a tiny bit of space, but Mushi still going to be brought down by the Breathe Fire. First relocate gank of the game from IG, and is going to end up securing them 1 kill.
That is a very crucial kill base hit. Dagger, he was like 1,600 gold. Oh, gosh.
Ferrari, very low on mana. Burning starts up YYF. Here as well, Dire Sentry Ward just a little bit further back. And he's going to end up backing off. But IG, they got the relocate gank in, they head back bottom lane. They're going to force DK to react to them. And this feels very reminiscent of what DK have been doing over the course of the last 5 games that we've watched them play. So
it's the same story, but DK is on the receiving end.
Yeah, not that, actually checking in how far behind your DK, not that much. It's about a 1k gold difference, 2k experience, still definitely within reasonable limits. Lanham actually goes back, like you said, he's going to be very active. Yeah, picks up some phase boots, and looks like now it's going to be heading in towards an Orchid.
I don't know about this. I'm not very sure if this is the correct decision. Only time will reveal itself whether this is correct or wrong. Not having the Midas. This is looking to me going for a very long Howl game, and not having the Midas could be a very devastating effect on the Prophet. It means that he's going to have at least 1 item less by minute 25 or minute 30, and not to mention the levels as well.
Yeah, he's not going to be as relevant, a late gamer, a split pusher, all of that. There is a lot to deal with him if he does go for a split pushy kind of build. Mushi, Burrow strikes in on mid lane. He just wanted a little bit of farm. YYF punishes him a bit for it, but there's no follow-up. There is another relocate ready for Faith, but the Dragon Form is still cooling down for 10 seconds, so we'll see. IG might be able to make something happen here.
This is a lot of... Wow, Mushi Burrow strikes in again. He almost died if he got impaled there. There was a relocate gank available, but this is actually a lot of pressure. As soon as the Storm and the Nyx is off the map and you see the Wisp and the Dragon Knight, there's just so much possibilities that IG can move around and gank all the other heroes. And the bottom tier 2 tower is going to be under siege once more. Mushi's going to teleport in, but doesn't have his dagger yet.
No, not just yet. He's getting very close. Looks like that's the one big thing that DK are kind of waiting around for right now. And one thing to point out is that Ice has had a really tough start to this game. He's 0-4.
And how often do you see, if you feel the pace of the game on DK right now, they are in so much of a problem because Mushi and Ice didn't have a good start, and you could see a lot of the momentum has been slowed down because like the two main snowballing heroes are not having a good time.
Yeah, and next couple of team fights, since DK are behind, are going to be absolutely crucial. YYF ends up spotting out the Prophet, but Vendetta's worn off right as that happens.
Blink is coming.
Blink
Blink is coming. Yeah, Blink is coming on the Sand King right now. This is the point of time where DK should try and get some damage done towards IG right now because of this is like the strongest point they have in the early game.
Yeah, the only other big item that's coming along is the Orchid on the Clinks, and that's still, I believe, a little ways off. Yeah, there's nothing on the Courier right now for burning.
And maybe Ice would just consider not to get into the Bloodstone Timbersaurus game. Go into the more supportive Timbersaurus since he's so poor, like getting the mech for his team. Maybe that could be the option that he goes for this game.
Yeah, just Arcanes into a mech. And I think that's a perfectly acceptable build, especially given what the rest of his team is doing. The Sand King is not a late game core. The Prophet has decided not to really focus on the late game, so I think doing as much as they can around that 20-minute mark could be really crucial. Two-man smoke from IG. But it's not a two-man smoke, it's a four-man gank. There's a relocate ready to go on bottom lane as well. Burning gets dusted up. He manages to get a little bit of extra hit points out of the Dark Pact. Keeps him up for the time being, throws out some right clicks. He is going to be brought down. Nature's Wrath bounces in. Ferrari tries to roll up onto the high ground, and TP out is just going to be out of range of that Fissure. Banana going to try and
bottom lane.
Jump away. Bottom lane, tower goes down. Meanwhile, Relocate's going to come in. They've spotted out Mushi's being stunned up. The Dragon Tail to follow. The Relocate right on top of his head. They've pinned in Banana a little bit. They're going to drop the Echo Slam. He's still being healed up by these rank 4 attendants, and he's actually going to be just fine. Looks like Faith gonna take him back down towards the bottom lane.
Oh my god. That was just so beautiful to watch on everyone on IG.
Yeah, that was just fantastic coordination. I don't know, where did Mushi start out that he was heading up the river?
He was here, he was running here, this spot. Do you see me drawing on the minimap? He was running over here, and the Nyx was Vendetta right next to him, and he got ganked.
Okay, so YYF in a really good spot. He was just sort of farming mid when the two-man gank started up over in the jungle, but looks like he managed to move into a pretty good place and set up the relocate. Bunch more kills for IG, and things are looking really good for them right now.
They're using the relocate so well as for IG. Every point they used was just perfect, and the Nyx and the Storm was just perfect setup for the relocate ganks. And Enchantress this time around, we saw the untouchable build the last game by land, but this game, the power of the attendance is here, clearly.
Yeah, he's actually just foregoing Untouchable completely. He's opting for more points in stats. So
yeah,
he reads the game. Yeah, there's too many nukes. He's just going to try and tank up against them.
The last game was everyone right-click, please select Lone Jude, so Untouchable level 4. This hero is just so versatile.
So Winter, what happened? I thought I thought that the criticism was that nobody in the East was playing Wisp. Nobody in the East could play Wisp, and now we're seeing both IG and DK using it to great effect.
Yeah, IG is learning a lot from DK.
Yeah, DK gonna try and push in down in this bottom lane. Burning, ducks off to the side, gonna be able to death pack to creep, so a little bit more ready to try and take a fight. Banana. This might be the one case where not having a point in Untouchable is gonna end up costing him. Will be brought down, Relocate coming in. What can they do about this? Burning ends up just face tanking the Dragon Tail. It's going to be brought down. MMY was off to the side, tries to get the Fissure down. Ice jumps in, manages to bring down Faith. They get Lanham a little bit further back by the pit as well. 2 for 2 is the final trade.
And you look at the heroes that went down. Enchantress and Liz for the Kings and the Prophet. You take it any day.
I was just a little bit surprised at how that played out. Mushi retreated up the hill. And Mushi's actually going to start channeling up an Epicenter. There's a zip in, but it's in the wrong place. They roll past. Epicenter not going to be enough. They stun him up. They bring him down.
The ward saw him. Oh boy, that ward, MVP.
Yeah, they knew that it was on its way. Just nobody was brought down by it whatsoever. Was that even a rank 2 Epicenter? It was, but yeah, couldn't hold on to the tower. And another big win for IG. Yeah, and
Immediate-
Mushi's like,
immediately-
look, yeah, there's a ward here. Get rid of it.
But that ward was already dying out. It already gave IG so much intel over the course of the last few minutes, spotting the Prophet rotations and all the support rotations. This is getting very difficult for DK to handle already, since Klinks doesn't even have his Orchid by minute 19. I was talking about having the Orchid at minute 15 if you build a Midas and Soul Ring, but that's not the case this game. He's gonna get it at 19 and a half minutes.
If not for those 2 deaths, would have been very
Radiant's
timely,
bottom
but
tower is under
IG
attack.
just doing... The one gank was very deliberate to trying to slow it down. The other kill was maybe a little bit luckier. I'm still a little bit surprised because Mushi went up, Burning just stood there and ate the Dragon Tail, and that was pretty much it. I think everybody else on DK was just a few seconds away.
He accepted his fate once he saw the relocate, I would say.
Fair enough. So IG smoked up, trying to pressure this advantage. DK actually kind of forced him to 5-manning a little bit to try and do something. Lanham, he's got 1 Oblivion Staff up. He's kind of off trying to grab some farm on the map. But,
How is so farmed? Oh boy, look at his items.
yeah. Well, he's been farming the whole time, and the only time that he's participated in kills is when the Wisp brings him along. So jump in, the Blink Dagger has been purchased up by YYF, Burning, tanking for a little bit. Mushi comes in with a really nice 3-man bar strike. Follow-up stun from MMY. He's actually jammed himself in the trees because of that one. Mushi somehow barely survives the Breathe Fire. Ice, silenced up, right-click down. BKB gonna pop off for How. Keeps on chasing. That Dragon Tail cools down. They're ignoring Lanham. They've headed even further back to focus
my
onto
God.
Burning. And MMY, after being trapped in the trees, is going to be brought down by Ferrari. That's a 4-for-1 in favor of IG.
They didn't even get the Whiz. The Whiz was so low just now, but the Timber Chain didn't latch on the tree. All the tree was destroyed because they teleported down. So that was rather unfortunate because like the Timber Saw was going to die anyway. He would have gotten at least 1 more kill, but it's still a very big loss for DK to lose all of their costs. I would say all of their costs actually went down since the Prophet is like position 4.
Yeah, they have the Orchid up on the Clinks now, but IG showing that they can definitely beat DK. Well, not beat DK at their own game, but they're just as good at playing DK's lineups. And
Go Scepter. Go Scepter on the Whiz as well. Sorry
Oh,
about that.
yeah. Well, Ice jumped on top lane. There is a relocate coming in as well. Carapace is going to be popped off, so Ice won't even be able to Timber Chain away. Very nicely played by YYF. They actually end up relocating in Ferrari. And just another kill for IG. Ice having a very hard game. 1 and 6 right now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
The major difference I can see in between these 2
Dire's
teams
top
that
tower
uses
is
the
under
Whiz in general is mainly the way they play the game. Like IG is much more aggressive. You can see the way they draft, and DK is more contented in getting multiple calls. IG is just like, oh, we have a Nyx offlane, doesn't really matter. We want to gank and use the Whiz to even more great effect. And they're
Dire's
just
top tower
executing
is
it so
under
well
attack.
now. It's just so beautiful to watch. Everything is so nice.
Ferrari double damage, gonna zip in, gets the silence out onto Mushi. Nothing that Lanham can do to stop him. Mushi gonna try and pop the Sandstorm, but not gonna be able to survive. The Orchid damage finishes him off. Ferrari gets Orchided by Burning, but nothing to follow up on that.
Dire's top tower
And
is under
DK gonna
attack.
be forced to back away from the
Dire's
tier 1
top
bottom
tower
lane. In the
is
meantime, Banana by
Enchantress.
himself brings down the tier 1 top.
Space created by the Storm. Enchantress takes the space, takes the tower. Storm has a BKB and Orchid
Wow.
at minute 23. Oh my god. So farmed.
He's 7-1-4. Ferrari has had a spectacular game.
Yeah. He is like there's a Ghost Scepter on the Whiz. They can't
Burning
even kill
tries
him.
to open up on Faith. The stun's gonna come in from MMY, tries to buy him some time. YYF gets cut out of the trees by Ice, who promptly gets picked off. And that's DK just losing another fight. This game is looking pretty over, Winter.
Dire's
Yeah,
middle tower
that's the end
is
of the
under
tier 2
attack.
tower here, and it certainly looks like the end of the game as well. Coming soon for DK.
Dire's middle
Yeah.
tower
Very
has
well executed game. This is very impressive from IG. What a turnaround from game 1 and game 2.
Yeah, so it looks like DK, and this to me reminds me of when Vici Gaming, they pulled out the bristleback. Nobody had really picked it. Nobody had really played against it that much. They had a huge win streak. They were very successful with it. But then the big difference was that because they'd played the strategy so much, they knew very well how to deal with it. But this is DK playing up against a very similar lineup to what they've run over the past couple of days, and Yeah, just struggling to cope.
Yeah.
I think the Sand King pickup has kind of affected the their long-term plan, because often they have that multi-core lineup that can come back in the late game, but with the Sand King mid, they had to make a lot of plays, and Mushi's Blink Dagger and the Orchid on Burning got slowed down enough that they just weren't really able to recover.
This is why I said at the start of the game, I do not like Prophet position 4 at all.
Mushi, do they even need the relocate? No, but Hao is just gonna throw one more right click and finish him off.
Levels. The levels and the goal, you get team goal.
Yeah.
It's not a wasted relocate.
Has been killed.
He's almost level 16. Burning is going to end up finding the Radiant Courier, so nice little pickup for him, about the best that they can hope for right now.
Timbersaw.
Ice chops his way through the trees, is going to be able to Timber Chain away. Nicely done there. They open up on Banana. He's got that 1 point untouchable, but Ferrari swoops in from the right-hand side of the screen, brings him down. MMY tries to TP, gets Dragon-tailed. He's done.
This is too much already. The Kling's dying off again there.
And just look at the net worth on the Clinks. He's got 8.6k. Ferrari is sitting at 12.3. The Storm Spirit is enormous.
Yeah, they made adjustments to the draft, which was really, like we were talking about, the draft was exceptional drafting from both sides, reading whatever the enemy wants to do, but it comes with a price, having to offset your lanes this way, and they are clearly feeling the heat of the price now. Wow, I'm gonna get caught up by the Barrel Strike. Don't think they can do anything to kill him though.
Yeah, Ferrari, how far away are you? Pretty far. He's all the way back by mid. Is there a relocate ready that comes in? Faith and Hao, they're looking for Musha to get the Dragon Tail down. Lanham gonna keep on fighting, finished off by a Carapace Reflect on his ultimate, and a little bit more right click. Ferrari now runs all the way over, gets the silence up onto Ice, drags him down. Monster kill streak for him. And with that, IG turn what was looking like a gank in favor of DK into a 3-0.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm thinking what else could I have done? What else are they gonna do right now in this situation? It's either they try to outfarm the enemy, but IG is gonna just wait for you to farm the Storm and the Nyx and the relocate. Where can you farm?
You can't even backdoor tier 1s at this point. Like sometimes with Clinks and Prophet you could say, oh look,
yeah,
we're just gonna go backdoor the tier 1 and get a little bit of extra farm. But you can't. You're gonna get relocated on, you're gonna get jumped up Spirit, or the Nyx Assassin could just be sitting there waiting for you. So
yeah, that's actually a very good point as well. That takes away 1 point of one of the strongest point of Klings where he can take down towers himself.
Yeah, so IG just gonna head into the Roshan pit. Pretty confident build here from Hao. Not working in towards an AC. He's just got a Demon Edge.
Look at Lamb as well. He just teleported here to face a what? This is just desperation times.
They're looking for the courier again, I think. It's about to respawn in 25 seconds. So.
Is there anything in the courier that's valuable?
No, I don't
Ogre
think
Club.
so.
Ogre Club.
Just an Ogre Club? Who does it belong to?
The Enchantress. He's gonna finish up her scepter after the courier response.
Okay, so Aghanim Scepter on its way. Bot lane, Burning, on the run. He's working on his BKB right now. He's also got an Ogre Club picked up, but IG, wow, Hao has picked up a Demon Edge, then decides that he wants a little bit more survivability. Picks up a Reaver as well. So it looks like Hao has some pretty big plans as far as farm is concerned. We'll see what he ends up doing here.
Maybe even go for a Satanic, I would say, so he can stand toe-to-toe against the Klings and everyone else on...
Oh, Mushi gets jumped. Ferrari dodges out of the way of the Fissure. Very nicely done. Picks up the godlike streak. IG, Hao, are you really gonna go all the way in here? Looks like he is. They stun up MMY. Super long-range Dragon Tail. Hao at this point is diving your base. He gets brought back to 2 heroes. They're gonna focus on Faith, but he's got that Ghost Scepter. Keeps him alive. Burning's dead. Lanham gonna try and TP out. There isn't another stun from IG, so they won't be able to stop him. But that's 3 kills from IG all over the map. Mid lane, bottom lane, doesn't matter. Looks like they've won this one.
Yeah, they already won this game. ISS gonna go down again. There's nothing more he can do. He just had a really bad time this game. He didn't really do too much. 1-9, no items up on him. It's just a very tough game in general. Well, IG, they executed the DK strat.
Okay, so I guess the question is now, Winter, are IG going to be able to continue this DK strat through the other 4 games that they have today? We'll see if Tongfu and Titan have learned anything after their losses yesterday.
Oh, it actually shows that the Wiz is still a very strong hero. even without the stun on the tether.
Yeah, I think the other thing is that the weakness of the Wisp before used to be that he was just awful in tri-lane versus tri-lane. You know, he didn't have a whole lot to... didn't contribute a whole lot, but now it doesn't really matter.
He relocates home to regen himself, and he's going to finish a heart.
Good luck ever killing the Dragon Knight. Like, I don't know what to say.
Overcharge, heart regen, and he has... I think he's going to go Satanic.
Yeah, this is very scary for DK. And at this point, the game is pretty much over. 30k experience, 20k gold.
Even if DK lands dream combination, Echo Slam, Epicenter, and everyone, Nature's Prophet, Ultimate, brilliant combination by the Chakram, the Will and Death, I still don't know if they can kill anyone.
So I wonder how it works if... Oh, never mind. Ferrari's jumping in. Silences Mushi on the way as well with the shift Q. He's actually going to end up killing him. BKB for Ferrari doesn't have a whole lot of mana, but he does have a regen rune in the tank once he gets away from these towers. So he's going to be able to pop that and he's going to be just fine. But the one thing that I wonder about is if both teams end up with the same record, do we have to have a... do we have to have a rematch? Yeah, tiebreaker? I don't know. Jump in, MMY, gets silenced up, gonna do his best. You really would like to Echo Slam Banana, but he can't really get it off. Dragon Tail from How, they finish off Ice Ice Ice. Ferrari keeps on jumping. Beyond Godlike for How, Beyond Godlike for Ferrari. Ice 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 buys back. Nothing that he can do to drive IG away. And Burning tries to come in and defend his home, but IG have kind of set up shop.
Maybe it's time rating, that's why they are playing on. Otherwise, DK would have just tapped out like 5-10 minutes ago.
Okay.
Maybe it's time rating. I'm not very sure.
Man, I'm not a fan of time rating, but at the same time, you have to have something if you have a group stage where. Yeah.
Probably someone will check it out later for us.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. And it won't matter if IG drop any of the remaining 4 games that they have to play today against Tongfu and Titan. MMY drops the Echo Slam. Ferrari stunned up, but he's got another BKB charge. Ice Ice Ice, couple of seconds, and he's dead. Some more items going out to the fans. Looks like IG are just gonna end up closing out this game pretty much right now. And yeah, it very well could be time rating. With the way that DK just are going to keep being a nuisance, keep trying to buy a little bit more time here, a little bit more time there. But Burning's had enough, he's going to call the GG.
Yeah, that is just DK getting the taste of their own strat.
Yeah, so we shall have to see. IG still have 4 games to play today.
Yeah.
We are going to have a little bit of a break. I think we have some Hearthstone coming up over on the Chinese. Yeah. Yeah. Again. I'm not impressed either, but that's the reality of the situation. So we are going to have at least a reasonable break. I'd have to double check the schedule, but to my understanding, the first 3 or 4 days have other games interspersed between the Dota matches. So I guess it's good for IG. They're going to have a little bit of a break, a little bit of a breather, and they're looking pretty strong. They just took a game against DK. All they have to do is stay on form to tie things up, and I guess we'll have to see where that takes us in terms of the bubble race. But guys, that's going to wrap it up for our first match for the Redbull ECL for today. Again, don't go... Actually, maybe go have a little bit of a break. I think we're going to have some Hearthstone coming up. Of course, if you'd like to leave any feedback on my casting, I'm Baseskip, here providing coverage on behalf of Beyond the Summit. You can email me at baskipdota@gmail.com. Joining me today is Winter. You can check him out on twitter.com/winterdota and facebook.com/winter.dota. Winter, any closing thoughts on this series, or are we just going to go take a break and we'll let people know what's going on?
I just want to thank you for plugging me in.
Nah, it's no problem, Winter. Don't check him out, guys. He's been fantastic to have on so far, and looking forward to the rest of the games today as well. So thank you, guys. Hope to see you soon.